excited to have and be able to announce, first time at least, the announcement of the match behind that fans can come see between the Tampa Bay Sun and Gotham FC 2023 NWSL Championship team. It's an incredible opportunity to showcase to not just the Tampa Bay area and not just the United States, but to the world, the power of women's professional soccer here in the United States, the strength, the growth, and the possibility here that happens where we can deliver women's professional soccer at a high level. So here for us in Tampa Bay, we are personally proud to host Gotham. Thankful to the owners of Gotham and to Jael, the general manager there, for their creativity, their insights, and really their belief in what we believe too as a core values of bringing women's professional soccer to new heights here in the United States. So grateful for that, and we look forward to your questions and look forward to bringing one of the best teams in the world into Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I think it's a really good opportunity for both teams. Obviously, building for us in preseason, and so it's important for us to get a lot of quality matches in, and so this will be great for us and our steps leading to season. And obviously playing outside competition and somebody we've never played is also huge too, because it gives us the opportunity to look at things that we normally don't get to. And so we're excited for this opportunity and can't wait to get down there.
Why do you think it's so significant that this historic match can happen here in Tampa Bay, and what fans here can expect?
Well, I just think firstly, it's a showcase of two Super League teams going head to head. Obviously, we can bring a club like Gotham, the establishment that they have, down to Tampa, showcases professional women's sport for all our community. And then from a professional point of view, it just shows where this league can grow to and how much more we can maximize kind of the relationships that we can build on a professional soccer level. And obviously just to create an event for the community, create an event for the fans, something that they can come and enjoy. And then obviously the biggest thing for us is to sort of showcase our players, showcase our league, and just make it a really fun party and get the community on board to enjoy professional women's sport in Tampa.
Just wondering where the impetus for this comes from. Is this something that is trying to drive cooperation between the two leagues? Because obviously they are in different organizations and umbrellas, but how did this all come about?
Yeah, and James, I mean, one of the biggest things, and kind of for me, even just stepping into this role as a president and general manager of a women's professional sports team, is I have been part of women's professional soccer for over 15 years at the highest levels internationally as well. And seeing the need and the gap for investment in women's professional soccer once people leave collegiate system, and knowing that this game is more than what it's done. We're basically making up for years and decades of not having the proper investment and the proper support in order to grow the game as it should have been. So there are many of us who have been part of that game on the ground floor that are now able to be part of those who are creating the next generation, the next wave of the women's professional game. So for us, we just think about it as a perspective from a club to club kind of perspective of how do we grow the game? How do we grow the game for our clubs? How do we grow the game for our players? How do we develop environments that allow just not, our starting 18 roster, but our second or third players, the next pipeline of players to come through. So really that's kind of where, you've seen a lot of movements and work since Jael took over with Gotham, and you see just the creativity that she has, her having been a player at the highest levels with the U.S. national team and her having played professional soccer around the world and domestically. Me seeing it from a very unique perspective as an official, but to also be championing and advocating for it now we're in a unique and really incredibly honoring way to be able to kind of build this, where we can build this kind of collaborations, this kind of growth and these kinds of opportunities, and hopefully show others that it's just, at the end of the day, it just requires creativity. It requires, yes, a little bit of elbow grease to put these things together, but it's more than worth it, because these are really kinds of the environments that we would have wanted when we were growing up, and now we're able to create it for this generation and these players that are on this call. So that's really the impetus of where it's at, is always pushing the level of women's professional soccer to higher levels, and continuing to push it where it needs to be, where it has to be, and where the game has to grow, not only for club but for country as well.
If this was a particularly special thing for you, coming down as part of Gotham and representing your organization in this area on the sport, on the field.
Yeah, my dad played for the Tampa Bay Bucks. from like 2000 to 2005. So I lived there for a while, and it's a super special city to me, and I still love it. And we'll go down every once in a while. So it'll be super fun to go back and compete in front of, all the fans. And like I said, in a great match between two teams that are building. And so it'll be definitely special for me to be able to go back there and to the city where, my dad once played pro sports too.
Hi, this is actually a question for Christina. As far as I'm with Telemundo, if you could talk to us a little bit about in Spanish about this matchup and how the importance of really getting that exposure for the Tampa Bay Suns too as well, and the preparation for the team, for both teams.
Yeah, no, definitely. Do you want me to answer this in English or Spanish? What's best for you?
Spanish, please.
All right.
Thank you.
Sí. Gracias, Valeska. Para eso pregunto. Nosotros tenemos una oportunidad para traer, para sacar una championship team aquí con Gotham, para traer, para enseñar de todos que nosotros tenemos fútbol, no americano fútbol, pero la fútbol de que nosotros gustamos, que nosotros jugamos todo el mundo aquí en los Estados Unidos, pero para nosotros aquí en Tampa, nosotros tenemos una comunidad que es tiene mucho de nosotros latinos aquí, y también puede enseñar de los niñas y niños que mujeres pueden jugar profesional de fútbol aquí en el lugar que ellos viven. Para nosotros es no solamente para enseñar de nosotros puede hacer es solamente una idioma, solamente es una cultura, pero fútbol es por todos, fútbol es for everyone, es para todos, y eso es una, como dice, value, o algo que yo siente muy que necesito traer este partido, no solamente de fútbol, pero para enseñar que nosotros tenemos los jugadores como Jaelin Howell y también Jade Moore, que son de todos los lugares de Florida, de Inglaterra, que está jugando aquí, pero ellos también pueden jugar. Es una oportunidad para la familia, atraer a todos para mirar que no solamente hombres están jugando fútbol, pero también las mujeres. Y eso es importante para la generación ahorita y también para la futura.
You've now played several home games here in Tampa. You've seen the energy of the crowd. What can the fans expect at a match like this? And also, what should Gotham FC get ready for in a match like this?
I think we're building something really special here at the Riverfront Stadium. I think the fans are obviously creating a really nice sort of, I don't want to use the word hostile crowd, but they're starting to bring their energy, they bring their flares, they bring their noise. So I think obviously Gotham can kind of expect a slightly intimidating background. I think for us, it's something that we're learning, we're growing, and hopefully by that game we'll have far more fans in the stadium. And for us, I just think bringing two teams together from completely different leagues is just a showcasing event. And hopefully for us, it showcases our players. We've got a really young squad with some really talented players. And obviously the Gotham team have unbelievable players in there. So hopefully they come and obviously get behind us, but they can also celebrate the sort of success that Gotham have had in the NWSL as a league as well.
Jennifer Nelly, Sports Illustrated. This one is for Jaelin. Obviously, I know you're new to Gotham and you're just starting up preseason, and you guys are in Spain right now. Just wanted to check in on how that's been going, and especially as you prepare for some of these exhibition matches, including with Tampa, but just for the season overall.
Yeah, it's been going great, honestly. I'm so happy to be here and so excited. And this club is something like I've never seen before in terms of their resources and what they pour into, the players and staff. And our owners are great. Yael's great, coaching staff. So far, it's been only a short amount of time, but I've had an unbelievable experience so far. And couple practices in Spain, and that's been great. And I think that Spain is going to be great for us just to really get to know each other on and off the field, and build a great relationship that between players and the culture off the field. And so all in all, so far it's just been great. And beginning of preseason, like I was saying, this is a time for us to build going into season, and we're super excited to have a great matchup between, like I said, another team from, that we've never played, and a great team, and it'll be a super fun experience to help grow the women's game. As everybody's been talking about, it's a super unique and special experience. So we're looking forward to that as well.
With the two leagues still being separate organizations, is this something of a measuring stick for your team overall, as well as the fun and the competition of it at the same time?
Yeah, of course. I think if you ask any athlete or competitor, they want to be up against the best. They want to challenge themselves against the best. So we have a really young squad, as I've said, and this game will be something that they'll want to thrive upon. They'll want to showcase themselves. They'll want to go up against the best. Obviously, we are in season, so we'll use it as we need to use it from a professional standpoint, and the same with Gotham. They'll use it how they see necessary. But as we've said, for the fans, it's more about getting people involved. It's about showcasing two leagues and about obviously putting women's football, women's soccer, the professional side of it on the map again, and hopefully creating something between two teams that can be maybe the two leagues in the future. This becomes something that happens all the time. It's like maybe it's a cup game that happens that between an NWSL and a Super League squad that happens, that that runs in other countries and other competitions. So I'm just looking forward to it. I just think two great teams going against each other, two teams that are, you could pretty much say, are in their infancy in a professional sort of capacity, but something that we can definitely build on and look to sort of incorporate as we move forward in women's sport and build for the future.
Does this show possibly a way forward for some type of cup competition that would involve both leagues? I know that there is a CONCACAF Champions League equivalent on the women's side, and obviously on the men's side there is the Open Cup, which is an older competition that is unfortunately not present on the women's side. Do you know if there are any discussions that might portend something like that, where we could see games like this happen more frequently in the future?
Yeah, James, I think there's always been conversation for the women's side. So how do we grow a similar competition to the U.S. Open Cup, right? An incredible tournament that really kind of draws the fans, and it's for the fans, and really, showcases the strength of soccer here in the United States. That's always been a chatter and a desire, right? And kind of going back to something I said a little bit earlier, where we didn't really have the infrastructure set in place to be able to do an Open Cup, to be quite honest, right? Now with the growth of women's professional soccer at Division I levels, right, the future growth, ideally, of having a Division II league and whatnot, that gives us those opportunities to even play those games against the amateur. And it all kind of starts with right here, right now, having these games and playing against each other, so that other people see that there is an actual opportunity to launch. We see an NWSL with Denver coming into town, right? Jacksonville just announcing that it'll join the USL Super League next year. We see the growth of clubs all throughout, and the more the clubs grow, the more we able to give through the community throughout the United States, which is a friendly reminder for the rest of the world. It's a really huge geographical territory. You can ask Jade when she's like, we're going where? To Spokane, and how long is that flight going to be? She's used to just taking a train and go 2 hours, right? 2 hours, you're still in the state of Florida. So the beauty of kind of that growing in the infrastructure and the acceleration exponentially of the women's game does open up those opportunities for now to really have a viable conversation about the opportunity for a women's Open Cup here in the United States. So that's not lost on those in the decision-making powers, and that's not lost on individuals such as I, who have a voice now at the table to make that an actual realistic opportunity.
And of course, our next match for Tampa Bay Sun FC is coming up a week from tomorrow as we restart the spring season. That's February 8th against Fort Lauderdale. That's here at home in Tampa. So obviously, anybody wants to circle back on some coverage of that, we'd love to have it, because we're building something special here in Tampa Bay, and it's a good time for everybody.